Right.
We're going live with two legends today. We got Jay Bex in the right corner. He doesn't
Kitty
need
Beck.
any introduction. He's a legend in Vegas, worldwide legend. He's shipping events like it's peanuts right now. At the bottom, we have Big City Bunk, a local legend. Let's do the introduction. He reminds me of Phil Ivey. We have a little video here we're going to share because Bunk and Ivy have a lot in common. Here, let's share this
For
screen.
money.
What the hell they got in common other than being black?
Oh,
Been told I'm
He's
intimidated.
actually light skinned.
That sitting across from me is frightening,
damn.
or that my stare alone is enough to make a player crumble. But I'm just sitting here, playing the same game you are. Well,
Is it though?
kind of.
They tell me I'm intimidating. They tell me I can melt a man with my stare. Actually, we're just all playing the same game. Well, almost.
Gets like the deal. So it was needle and fill. That was hilarious.
Antwan, how you doing tonight? Thank you for coming on the pod.
Thanks for having me on. With two of the greatest. What's happening?
Oh,
The
not
people
much.
got questions, and we're gonna get them answered.
We ain't going to questions
We're
yet.
gonna get the people what they need. Jeremy, you said you have an interesting question. You want to go ahead and start this
Up
off
top.
the right way?
No,
On
we'll
the right
save
foot?
it. We'll save it for the question segment.
We're gonna say, oh, okay, to
I
the
know you got this planned out.
yes, I do have it planned out. Antwan, give us a little background. I learned today that you were a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your come up in baseball.
Hold
and-
up. So we calling the minor leagues professional?
Got paid.
We haven't even warmed
Okay.
up yet.
He
got
got
paid.
paid. That's a
We're
good
not
answer.
even
He
warm
got
yet.
paid.
Gave me that big check out of high school for sure. But
Damn.
I started out. I think I was 12 years old when I first started playing ball. I won a batting title my second year on baseball, and then I was big for a long time. So I was like 5'11" at 15 and 13 years old. So I always hit home runs, and my skill kind of got better along the way. And then I at 15 I played varsity as a freshman, and then the next 3 years I was all area, one of the top players in the county for the next 3 years.
Hate to interrupt, Bunk. Why baseball? Anybody in the family was baseball player?
My
12,
mom played softball a little bit. I just fell in love with the game. I just saw I was watching the Braves. Dale Murphy was my guy. I had a couple of uncles who played Little League baseball. I watched them, and I just took a liking to it. You know what I'm saying? Just became natural.
So
I
you
fell
were
in love
around
with
the game at 12?
A little bit, yeah.
earlier.
10 and 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and then I was All-American my senior year in high school. I was first team all Florida. I got drafted in the 7th round, 185th in the country by the Minnesota Twins. And that began my pro career. And it gave me $75,000 out of high school plus like 4 years of college paid for back in '94, which ain't bad back then. Now it's a lot more.
Can you repeat that last? I'm sorry, I got a question from one of the on the chat. So you said 12 years old. 12 years old, you start playing baseball, and then what happened?
I was actually 5'11" at like 13, 12 years old. And
how important is height in baseball?
I mean, leverage is everything in every sport: basketball, baseball, football. But for me being 5'11" at 12 and being big gave me a big advantage against other kids. I'm damn near 5'11" is big at 12, so I'm hitting balls over light towers, and I had a lot of skill too along with it. I had great hand-eye coordination.
Yeah. Okay.
Question: How did you develop your skills? Like me, when I started playing basketball, I kind of have that in me.
Mm-hmm.
When I started discipline, I've played a lot of sports. Like growing up, I was always outside, running outside. Basically, my childhood was running outside. So when I started playing basketball, I was addicted. Like I would stay till 1, 2 a.m. in the morning shooting 3 points. Like I would hit 1,000, and after the game, after the practice and everything. So I had that mentality, and I was a gamer. It's almost like, I don't know, most gamers or athletes, it's like we have that competitive edge, kind of. When you were growing up, 12 years old, you started baseball. Were you practicing at home? Were you doing some extracurricular stuff like at home to get better? There's a lot of eye hand coordination and
yeah. I had an uncle who was about 4 years older than me. and we'll go outside every day, and we have a broomstick, tape it up, and a tennis ball, and we'll play a game called Strikeout, where he try to strike me out.
You tape the end to make it thicker, kind of like a baseball bat.
Yeah, and then we have a tennis ball. We'll play a game called Strikeout, and then he was kind of good at the time, so it got to a point where he couldn't strike me out no more, and then he quit.
When you say strikeout, explain to me a little bit. I'm not really versed.
Okay, so like it's a bush right here, right?
Okay.
He's over here. I'm at the plate. If I miss 3 pitches, that's a strikeout, and then his turn to hit. So we'll flip flop for a while, and then eventually he couldn't get me out.
How fast was he throwing, and how far away was he from you?
He was throwing pretty hard, and he was pretty close.
So he wasn't like taking it easy on you. He was just like going hard.
No, he wanted to get me out. He wanted to hit.
Nice.
So at a point,
12 years old, you're practicing with your uncle in the backyard.
Right.
So when did it transition to something serious that you're like, okay, I can make money out of this?
Well, let's go back to my transition still at 12. So I had a cousin. He played baseball too, right? And so his dad was a coach. So he'll pick us up every Saturday and Sunday, and we go to the park and hit a bucket of baseballs for 3 hours. Every Saturday and Sunday, buckets of balls, like hundreds and hundreds of balls. Boom, BP. He'll pitch. He'll just throw all day to us. Boom, boom, boom. So we did that. We did a lot of that. So that right there made me a lot better too. Like getting swings in.
Did you have support at home? Like, was your mom backing you? Your dad?
My mom was she was supportive, but she was working. So like, you know what I'm saying? I got so good to a point where they would pick me up and take me to practice, which is 30 minutes away, and then drop me back off home after practice. So she didn't have to do much.
You had the support at home.
I had support at home for sure.
Nice. So this is 12 years old. When did it transfer to something more serious? At what age?
When I got 15 and I made varsity as a freshman, that's when it came really, really serious. You know, I batted 4th as a freshman on the varsity team. I led the team in home runs, batting average, and RBIs. We weren't very good, but playing at a big school at high level, that was kind of big time. And so that summer, I played American Legion, which in Florida is real big, like summer ball. I made the team, so I'm a 15-year-old playing against the top 18-year-olds in the state. So it gave me a lot of confidence.
Wow. How much working out goes into baseball, like as far as gym and cardio? Do you do any of that, or just baseball and batting?
I started lifting. I was kind of chubby around my freshman and sophomore year. I started lifting heavy around my sophomore and junior year. And it was a lot of cardio. It was a lot of lifting, learning how to lift, because they teach you how to lift in school. So it's a lot of lifting going on. So I got real strong too.
Let's see some of your pictures back in those days.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Bunkley 32.
I want to see how slow that swing was.
Damn.
I had mad bat speed, kid.
Man,
that's me signing autographs. Stuff Becker's doing now. Finally.
Wow. How old were you here in this picture?
You were signing?
Yeah, I was 21. I was in A-ball. I think I was in either Fort Wayne, Indiana, or no, I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That's sick. You're unrecognizable in this picture. This is 1999.
Yeah, we won a championship in '98. We were ranked number 8 in Baseball America of top minor league baseball teams that year. We had Jeff Weaver, who's a big league starter, as our ace on our team, and I broke the record for RBIs that year.
You played with Jeff Weaver?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Back when I was a DJ, I used to bet some games, and he cost me a lot of money.
That's about right. That's my guy. Good dude.
Tell your boy to send me a couple bucks, because he hurt me. He hurt me back in the day.
He hurt you back there. He got it too.
Okay, Bunk. So here, 15 years old, things are starting to look good for you. At what year you went pro?
18. I got drafted in 1994. The 185th player in the country taken by the Minnesota Twins. I thought I was going 3rd round by the Braves, because the Braves came to my game. Bobby Cox, John Sherholtz, the GM, and I went 3 for 4 with a grand slam. I was like, it's over. I'm going to the Braves, third round. And I heard a lot of noise. Like the Rangers called me on the draft day. A couple of teams called me on draft day. And I thought I was going to the Braves, but I didn't. I went to the Twins. So,
damn. So 18 years old, how much money you're promised here at this point? There's kind of contract before you join, or?
Yeah, I got $75,000 plus 4 years college out of high school. paid for it.
75,000 back in 1994.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Probably what? Like, what is it equivalent to?
It's it get 270 right now in that same round, that same slot.
Sick. So
Yeah.
18 years old, you're making that much money. How did that hit you?
I got a lump sum actually. Like I got the first half. I got drafted in June. I got the first half in September, and the next half I got it in like I think January. And my mom, my family started. My family had a business, daycare business, so they kind of knew about money a little bit. So my mom was real good with money. She took it and made sure I didn't go crazy with it. Got me a car, made sure my bills were paid for the first like 3 or 4 years in pro ball, where I had to work.
So
Because in the minor leagues you don't make shit.
So she helped you with the money management that first year.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, from 18, what happens? How did that year go? And what happened in 19 and 20 when you were 19?
18, I played decent. It was my first year in pro ball, getting acclimated to the professional lifestyle. It was difficult. I was in Fort Myers, Florida. And then I came back the next year and I got hurt in spring training. I was supposed to go up to short season ball, but I ended up staying in rookie ball for another year. And I had a really good year in rookie ball that year. I think I hit 300 with like 6 home runs in a big ballpark. And then they sent me to an instructional league, which is where they sent the top prospects for the summer. And I played there, did really well in instructional league. They moved me to third base. And then the next year, I went to A-ball up in Fort Wayne, which is 20 years old then. Broke my foot.
At that point, what are your thoughts? Like, are you thinking ahead that you're gonna become like a millionaire from baseball, or are you just you're taking it step by step?
No, I mean, I wasn't thinking about the money at the time. I was thinking about just getting there. I mean, I felt as my bat was pretty solid. I can hit, I always could hit. And so now they're working on my fielding and my attitude. You know, I being young, being black, coming from where I came from, and then coming over there in baseball, having adjustments to people that you don't know. I met guys from like Idaho, Iowa, all parts of the country that never been around black dudes. So it was like we had to make adjustments.
Since you brought this part, what was the percentage of that team when you were 20 years old? How many were blacks and how many were whites? Not that it mattered.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few amount of blacks and Latino guys. So
you'd say 20% of the team, 15%?
In the whole minor leagues, we had about probably 40%.
Was that an issue of your growth? Like, was that ever like a hint? Like, did it hinder you from growing in baseball or not really?
No. I could adjust to anybody.
Yeah, I got you. So it was never like, gotcha.
I never had a problem.
When did the career end? So 20 years old, you're at your peak now. Not your peak. Was it peak 20 years old, or what year did you peak? Like,
no, I had a year. I think I had a year in '97 where I was an all-star. I got released by the Twins. I got hurt. They traded for David Ortiz. When they got Ortiz, they told me sayonara, and then I got released because I was fucking around, doing some shit and not really hanging out a little too late, missing curfew.
What sort of shit?
Missing curfew, girls hanging out.
You know what? That was my next question, work ethic, because that's going to translate later on to poker, because it kind of gets in your head when you're making money and you kind of, some people, if you kind of let go and you feel like you made it, some people, they're not performing at their best anymore, because you kind of have it easy. When you have the money, you have the girls, you have the cars, your work ethic here, it has to be on point or things starts falling apart. So how did you handle the fame? Can I call it fame? Like, how much money were you making at 20?
Well, it wasn't even that. We had fame because we were pro ball players, but it wasn't my work ethic. It was what you're doing off the field. Like, they saw everything. Like, they see everything. Like, so
when you say they, it means who? The recruiters or
the higher ups, like the GMs, the minor league field coordinators, all the guys who are watching you. So like, you don't know that. And so you're like, you're going out partying, you're hanging out, you're drinking, you're doing all kind of shit, but they see that.
They're keeping tabs on all of that.
Right. And you still go back and you can perform well, but they see the other stuff. You're like, okay, if we send him to AA, how will he react to the outside life then? So they wonder about shit like that. So
how much was the partying hurting your performance on the field, or it wasn't? Because it has to have some effect. Drinking, I mean, when you're young, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah, we were young. I was getting 3 hits a day with coming home at 4 in the morning sometimes. You're young.
Were you wild, young? When you were young, were you wild? Were you what type
I
of?
mean, I was wild, but not to a point where it was just out of hand. Like I had fun, but I performed. Like I never had a problem performing on the field. Like
You kept it under control.
I kept it in control. Like I wasn't missing games. I wasn't missing practice, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I kept it under
Your work
control.
ethic was on point, even though there was a little bit of distraction, which comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But you kept it under control, and your performance wasn't that affected by.
No, I got hurt twice. I broke my foot. I broke my foot too.
In game.
Yeah, I was in Lansing, Michigan. I ran the first base. I stepped on first base and my bone popped in my foot, and I was out for 4 months. So that hurt me too.
Did that affect you later?
It affected me. I tried to come back really fast. I came back kind of fast. I went back to A ball, but I didn't play. A guy was playing in front of me, so now I was fucking pouting because I wasn't playing. I'm a high round pick. I felt like I should be playing. I wasn't, and they saw that too. They see everything. So they're like, he's pouting, he's not acting right. So that next spring, they told me, I came in, they said, you got to fight for jobs.
Ooh,
pretty much. I heard that. Like I heard the rumblings. I heard the rumblings about that in spring training. So
what? How old were you when you broke your foot?
21, I think 20.
21. Okay. How long did your career last after being 21? For another couple years?
No, I played like I was 27, I think 27.
So it went for another 6 years.
Yeah, because what happened? Listen, I got released by the Twins.
Okay.
But Milwaukee Brewers called me, and then they're like, "We want to sign you. We like you." So
what was the time period between the release and you getting signed?
2 months, 2 months, 2 months, maybe a month.
So okay, so that's perfect.
Yeah,
you signed with them.
They signed with them, and then when I signed with them, I had an all-star year that year. I hit 371 with like 18 home runs and like 70 RBIs in 69 games.
How much money were you making at that point?
Nothing. Minor league, you don't make shit. So I'm probably making $850 a month.
Whoa! How are you paying the bills and stuff?
Well, in that league, they have a thing called host families. So like when you go there, people who live in town bid to have the players live with them for free. They feed you, they let you use the car, and you really ain't got to pay for shit.
Basically, they adopt you.
Pretty much. Right.
Okay, so let's put a timeline. So 21, you sign with the new team. You're not making that much money. What's the prospect here? Did you see it getting any? Did it get any better between?
Yeah, Milwaukee liked me a lot. They called me over the winter. They were excited about me. I was excited about them. And then Detroit was more excited about me. Detroit Rule 5 drafted me in that winter. I got a phone call from my mom and said, Detroit just took you in the Rule 5 draft. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, they really like you.
Minor league, how much exposure do they have on TV? I don't watch baseball, but how much, like if you walk places, like people recognize you and shit, or not that?
Only in the town that you're playing mostly. Because you're on TV in those towns sometimes.
Gotcha. So local. You're a local legend, not national.
Yeah.
Not on a nation level. Okay.
Right.
So here you're kind of stagnant. Do you go on an upswing at all?
That was an upswing. I was upswinging real big on that one. And then I won a championship in '98 with Detroit. Had a really great year that year, and they were excited about me too. So then I came back down here I played the Florida State League, which is the league in Florida, like the Jupiter team.
This is what year? This is all when you were 21?
22 now.
You're 22 now. Okay.
Yeah, like the Tampa Yankees.
Uh-huh.
Like we played them. Clearwater Phillies. I was in that league, and it's a very hard league. And I didn't have a good year that year. I had an all right year, but not a good year.
Okay. I want to get to the point where you transition to poker. At what point?
Hold on. I got 2 questions first from the baseball. If this is all right.
Yes.
Of course.
All right. First question. What was the highest league you got to?
AA.
Second question. Sounds like you wanted to get drafted by the Braves. I grew up a Braves fan. Did you ever find out why they didn't take you? You ever ask?
No, I mean I forgot who they took ahead of me, but that's kind of how it works. Like some players drop down they're on that board. I was on that board, but somebody probably ahead of me dropped down to where they can pick them at. So they didn't get me, but That was about it.
And you were like, you wanted to go to the Braves.
I love the Braves.
All right, to the poker.
The poker. All right, let's talk how you were first introduced to the game. What year was that, and how did it happen?
Okay, so my last year of pro ball was 2001. Okay, so now I retired. I was back home in Florida. I was married at the time, and I was working at the daycare business of my family. I wasn't happy.
2001, you were how old? We're gonna put your age on blast now, but how old were you in 2001?
You'll make me do some math, huh? I was probably 25. No, I was probably
Jesus,
no.
holy
So
48.
Oh my god.
I don't fucking know, Carl. How old was 2001? Shit.
When were you born?
I was born in 75.
75. Okay, so
Holy shit.
70,
I'm
20,
surprised
26
Grandpa
years old.
knows how to video chat.
26 years old. What year did you get married, Bunk?
2000.
How did you guys meet?
High school. My high school
High
sweetheart.
High school sweetheart. Nice.
God bless that
Nice.
woman.
Okay, so 2001, you moved. You said you stopped.
I was back in Florida.
Back in Florida. Okay.
Yeah. And so then I played a couple home games, like $5 games. I seen Moneymaker on TV a little while after that, right? When did Moneymaker win the championship? 2003?
03, yeah.
So then 03 is when I seen it. And I never played poker in my life. I didn't gamble anything. I never gambled. I never played like craps, nothing. And I saw him winning on TV, and I was like, holy shit, how did he take $45 and win $3 million? Playing poker, what is that? So a couple of my buddies had a $5 sit and go home game. I went for the first time, and I won like $50.
Wait,
I won the whole
jump in the game. You don't know how to play or anything.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I never played poker in my life. I don't gamble, ever.
They just told you we have a poker game. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my wife went over there, $5 buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up winning it. And then one of my buddies that I met there took me to his house, and he had a big screen TV on his in his house. I said, how much you pay for that? He said, like $6,000. I said, how did you pay $6,000 for that TV? He said, I won a tournament on pokerroom.com. I said, pokerroom.com.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's old.
Probably one of the first sites. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I started looking into online poker a little bit. And then I started reading some books. I read Super System.
Uh-huh.
I read Harrington on Hold'em. Read that one. And then
Bunk, so you played the first time. You didn't tell us like I played the first time online, and I fell in love with the. I'm like, I can't believe I've never learned this game before. I just fell in love with it. So you played the first time. What did you like about it? Was it the psychology?
I just like the aspect of just camaraderie of the players and making people fold and being able to like bluff and shit like that. It was just something about it.
You don't bluff, stop.
I don't. I always have it.
Straightforward player.
That's right. ABC.
So did you see any similarities between baseball, like the competition in baseball and poker? Did you see that yet or not?
Not yet. Not yet. I didn't see it. I just knew I liked it, and I had like a little bit of passion for it. But then when I got to online poker, that sped my learning curve up. Online poker sped my learning curve up. Yeah.
So this is 2001. Okay.
2003 to 2004 now.
Okay, so you've been playing like a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's like about to be 50 at this point.
I'm old as hell, 30-something.
Okay, tell us when did you think you can make money at the game? At what year? So 2001, 2003, you're dabbling a little bit. You don't know what you're doing, reading books, the super system, the Bible. You read the Bible, poker Bible. And then what year you were like, okay, I can maybe do this as a career or as a profession?
I never thought I could do it for a career yet, but I won a tournament on PokerStars for $2, and I won it for $885. That's when I saw the light.
What year was that?
That was like 2005.
Okay. 2005. When was the first time you played the live tournament or cash? Like first time in the casino?
I think it was 2006 or 7. I started playing like the old Seminole in Hollywood. I played the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Like they had $45 tournaments and shit like that. And then I went to the old Seminole, and then I graduated to the Hard Rock.
You were living, I'm guessing, close to Hollywood, right?
Well, West Palm, where I live at now. I was in West Palm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of just like cut my chops in Palm Beach at the Kennel Club at first, and I was playing online poker. So online, I got really good online. I started playing a lot of tournaments. I met some good players. I met like a guy named Chad Bautista, who was ranked #1 in the world. I met a guy named David Randall, who's a really good online poker player that took me in and basically showed me the ropes. And he backed me online at first. He saw me playing. He's like, I want to back you in bigger tournaments. I was like, backing? What is that?
What year were you starting to show profit? What year was like a turning?
Hopefully 2025.
Now, last year?
Hopefully next
From
year.
2007 to 2011, I probably made 300,000 online.
Whoa.
Yeah, I made a lot of money online.
How much you think was net profit from the 300,000?
Well, my shark scope, it was pretty. My average buy-in was pretty small, but
I gotta start playing online.
well, that was back then. It ain't like that no more. that was back when everybody was bad. It was no HUDs. It was no solvers.
Yeah.
None of that.
Those days were definitely the
heyday.
Yes, the heyday.
We were printing money.
300K. I mean, are you buying like cars? Like what?
I'm renting cars. I'm paying bills. I'm paying off cars. I'm blowing money fast. The shit was coming so quick, Carl. I thought it was coming forever.
So was there a job? Did you have a job at that time, or poker was it?
Poker was it for a while. That was my living. I was an online poker player for a while.
Okay. Again, let's get a timeline. 2001, 2002, 2003, you're still trying to figure things out. At what year you decided, okay, I'm going to do this for a living? Was it 5, 6?
It was 2006.
2006, you dove in head first and you were like,
yeah,
that's it.
This is it.
You thought, did you know what you're getting into? Like the whole world? How was, were you married at this time?
Yeah, I was married. This is what happened. I was married, and I was playing like small tournaments. And I was winning I won like 4K, 3K, 10K, right? And then when Chad saw me, and Chad recruited me, he said, "Come down to my house." He said, "I want to back you." He said, "But you got to quit your job." And I was like, "I don't know about that, bro." I felt pretty safe, pretty solid. He said, "If you want to do this for real, you got to quit your job and go full time."
And you met Chad how?
Online. He watched me play a tournament. He was railing me in a tournament, and he saw where I was from, and he hit me up in my inbox.
Okay. How did the skills and stuff you learned in baseball translate to poker? Like
discipline, patience, competitiveness, like the will to win, not being afraid. You know, a lot of stuff like mental toughness. Like you got to be tough, and you got to be sharp. Like you got to have IQ. Like you got to have baseball IQ, you got to have football IQ, you got to have basketball IQ, and you got to have poker IQ. You got to have that.
When you said Chad coach you, let's go back to those days and what people did coaching, as far as coaching back. And I don't know if you remember exactly like what did coaching look like? Like let's say
like for him, he was playing and he would tell me why he was doing what he was doing.
Give us a little details. Like, did they talk ranges back in those days? Like, did he tell you like play tight under the gun and like open everything on the button? What was the strategy talk back in those days?
Chad was more of a savant. Chad was a prodigy, actually. He actually went by a lot of field timing tells, bet sizing patterns. He knew players, so he would do things like he knew about like turn shoves, how strong it looked a lot. I saw him make so many turn shoves and get guys to fold on turn. It was amazing, and he'll know exactly what kind of hand they had. Like he was so good at like analyzing hand ranges, and he helped me understand like hand reading. I feel that's one of my biggest strengths is hand reading. Like putting people on hands like a range of hands.
You still in contact with him this day?
He passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, he died in Vegas. He basically he pretty much drank himself to death. He was depressed a little bit, and
poker
he didn't make it. But shout out to Chad. A lot of people love him. A lot of people know who he is in the poker world for sure.
What's his last name?
Batista.
Chad Bautista.
Someone was telling me about this guy, but it might have been you.
Yeah, he's a legend. You can look him up online.
Becker, you have anything?
No, I'm just listening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you're knee deep in poker. This is your career.
Right.
What was the biggest challenge that you faced when after you transitioned to poker? When was the downswing? We all know you're gonna hit the downswing. When did that hit? And
Early. I was in makeup at one point with Chad for like 30K online. So
the first year you said it was 2008, 2009. You had 300K on Microscope.
Mhm.
30K is a lot. What's your average buy-in?
I was playing big tournaments, but it was a lot for me because I never knew what makeup was. And so what happened was I played a Wednesday 320 on PokerStars, and I ended up winning it for 325. And I'm sorry, no, for $30,000. So I gave him 30, and we chopped 3,000, and I was just sick about it. I was like, this shit's crazy, bro. I was like, wow, but what Chad was doing was Chad was so good that he was like, even though I have a bad month, and I had a family, he'll always give me money for bills. Like he'll like give me like $5K a month to make sure my bills are straight, even though it'll go back on makeup until I clear makeup. So that's how makeup got kind of big too.
So what was the deal with Chad? He covers all the buying and you go 50-50, and if you have makeup, you cover that, and then you split the rest?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, back in those days, I can't believe that was a thing. Let's talk mental aspect. How strong are you mentally? I mean, I'm sure you faced adversity like in baseball the whole time, and I'm sure that translates to poker.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while to get where I'm at now as far as dealing with the downswings and the variance of tournaments and still playing good. But I started looking at long-term situations instead of short-term. And then it started helping me a lot.
Talk about like composure and like in high pressure situations, because I've seen you at final tables and stuff. You don't show any emotion. You're kind of hard to read with the glasses and stuff. Some of the comments in the like Nicole said, your presence at the table. You do have a presence. It's pretty scary.
Right.
So tell us about composure and stuff.
We're talking about Antwan.
It's I watch a lot of live streams too, and I watch a lot of the great players, and I just watch like Ivy. I noticed Ivy never shows bluffs. Like he don't show his hand. Like when he has a big hand, he never shows you, oh, look what I have, this and that. He just never shows bluffs.
Never shows anything.
It never shows anything. So for a while now, I started just doing that. I'm like, I ain't showing my hands no more. I don't care what they say. And then I also understand like one guy told me, he says, Bunk, when you're serious at the table, you play better. When you're more friendly, people tend to play differently against you. So I started being a little bit more serious. A little bit more serious. And I think it makes a difference. Like people won't bluff you as much. They won't try to bluff you as much. They don't feel as comfortable in pots with you.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing it's a big thing as far as table composure, table presence is really big. Especially when you start playing higher levels too.
Becker, how friendly are you now at the tables? Like playing the high rollers, playing the Poker Go studio. How talkative are you at the table? You're always like you keep it light.
I'm very light. I'd say I try to be. Not that I try to be. I'd say in like the studio I'm more serious, but that's really just because of the environment. Like everybody's more serious. But I started doing sunglasses on day twos to try to be more serious.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm still fucking around the whole time, but when I'm in the pot, like when I'm playing, I try to be more serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is only on day twos when I'm wearing the shades.
Yeah.
But nowadays, even if I'm doing it, I'm still fucking talking in the hands. But in the studio, not much, honestly, because of A, the environment, and B, these guys are fucking really good. So God forbid I give anything off. Usually I'm the guy getting shit from other people, like learning, like, oh, he did this, like I got him. Where I don't want to fucking be giving them anything. So I don't say shit when I'm in a hand there.
And Becker used to never wear glasses for a long time. He would never wear shades. I told him about that.
I still don't. I only do it on day twos now, and only sometimes.
He used to give people shit that were.
He did. You saw that? Now he's wearing the shades, the fucking blenders and shit.
But I'm doing it as like a shtick. Like I'm fucking around. Like
I'm
doing it to like hide some sort of tell.
I think I had something to do with that. He saw how fly I was. He started wearing his glasses.
Oh, he tries to imitate everything.
That's probably why I never fucking did it back in the
day. Whether you like it or not, it does matter.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
It does matter. It makes you less approachable. And
for me, I think I'm more serious. when I have them on, I like I'll take my time more in hands, like thinking of how much to bet.
Yeah, yeah. They definitely, it's definitely a factor.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes you less approachable, and people, like Bunkley said, they tend to bluff you less. You're just more intimidating. That's the word.
Yeah.
You're more intimidating with glasses.
I got 2 questions for Big City right now.
Go ahead.
All right. First off, we keep it real on the what's the name of this podcast?
The Kman Podcast.
Kman.
We always
On
keep
the
it real here.
All right. On the Kman Podcast, we keep it real.
Yeah.
So I know you might have. I don't know how long ago this was now. Probably like, I don't know, 3 years, 2 years maybe. You were on a downer, or just shit wasn't going good.
Mhm.
Whether it was poker, financially, whatever. How did you get out of it? What did you do to get back on track?
Mm.
Did you
Great
get
question,
backing? Like, what was it?
No, it's a great question, Jerm.
Fair enough.
I was really picking my spots when I could play, but I had a job. I was coaching baseball. You remember that? So I was coaching baseball. What do you call it? Travel ball for kids, and I worked in my family's daycare business. So that was keeping me, paying my bills, this and that. I couldn't play as much poker. So what happened? What came along was Major League Baseball ended up calling me about a job in Tennessee to coach the top college prospects for the summer for like 65 games, and the check was pretty nice. And I was like, okay. So I left there and coached for a while. I played no poker for like 3 or 4 months.
Bunk, what year was that?
This was 2022. I think it was when I left.
You asking the wrong
2022?
person, man.
I think it was 2022 of June, I believe.
Okay, so 2022 was bad for you in general, as far as poker?
Probably that. Yeah, it wasn't great for like a good, probably 5 or 6 months maybe.
So
but I wasn't dead. I was poker broke.
You pulled back and you focused on other things.
Yeah, I focused on other shit.
So basically what you did was play no poker and make money through something else so that you now have money to play.
No, I actually was like, I was playing small tournaments, but I couldn't play like I wanted to play. I couldn't be firing like that. So I'll take little small shots here and there, and do okay. But yeah, so pretty much the baseball kind of got me back on, back of the par a little bit.
Okay.
Let's look at the Hendon Mob here in 2022. What's going on?
Well, another question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you have had experience with a backer live, right?
Mm-hmm. Live?
From what I know, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I had like a backer live a little bit. Yeah.
And would you say that you prefer being backed for tournaments or no? And why is that?
I like being on my own, but like if I played the series, when I'm playing the series this year in Vegas, would I take backing for that situation? Maybe, because it's bigger buy-ins. But how I got to where I'm at now was I just straight grinded small tournaments. Like I had a cousin who, when I moved back to West Palm, and I started working and want to play poker again. I said I was looking for backing. He was like, "Why don't you just play small and grind yourself up?" And I was like, "You know what? You're right." So
I want to dive in deep in the backer, how you met him, what was the deal between you two. But let's look at your Hendon Mob. This is the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, let's go back. First recorded score 2008. You had 27K. So you start, recording scores here. You got 2009 67K, 29K. 2014, you got 49K. So it's all kind of even, a lot of consistency here. Nothing crazy. 2022, we see the downswing. Only 10K recorded. 2023, much better. 2024, Bunk is back. Don't call it a comeback because you got 98K. We're not even 3 months in.
We're not calling it that yet. We're not calling it a comeback
yet. Listen. Technically, in 2023, I didn't start playing poker until July. Cause you remember I just moved back to West Palm Beach and I didn't start playing back. I started like grinding a little bit, but I wasn't playing poker until July. And that's when it began, really. July of 2023.
So okay, 2024 here you're crushing, and then the highest score comes in the form of 400 buying at the Hard Rock. Antwan at the top.
474,000 in that.
Yeah.
For
Gabe
first?
Fuller, shout out to
God.
Gabe. Great podcast with Gabe. 49K gets second.
Great player, great guy.
Spalding, I
They
don't
let
know.
Antwan
Chad
win
Kitchen,
this?
fourth. Shout out to Chad. Wow.
Chad played great in that tournament. Yeah, happy for
You got
Chad.
Philip, shout out to Philip.
Mhm.
When's
got-
Chad getting on the pod?
Doug Morrow, shout out to Doug. I'm gonna try to get Doug on and Chad on. Wow. So tell us what happened in this tournament. How was the mindset? Did you have any like lows? Like were you super short in the
Well,
tournament?
I only bagged like 130 on day one, but you know, I had been playing pretty good. I had just got seventh in the one Gabe won. I think 2 weeks before that, I got seventh, and Gabe busted me in the final table with Ace Queen versus his threes and held. I was short. I went to Daytona and got like 15th in Daytona, and Gabe got 5th in that one. So I was playing well, and I was getting deep, so I felt something was coming. So when I came and played that one,
Why do you say you felt something is coming? Why?
because I have been winning, like I have been winning already. Like if you look in 2023 and look at July until now, and look at my months from July to now, like I had an uptick. I have been winning since July, like
July
winning
of
tournaments here.
2023?
Yeah.
This is July. You got small scores, then you got a first in Palm Beach Kennel Club. You got another first quad stack bounty in Hollywood. Then you got another first in August, the quad stack in Hollywood. Another first.
Antwan not about that first life. He probably chopping these 7 ways, man.
They're chopping
How
9 ways.
many of these are chops, Antwan?
Damn. I see the uptick, Antwan.
Yeah.
Are you chopping any of these?
Yeah, I won my first Hard Rock trophy in the bounty around that I think was it November? For like 10K, I think it was. So that was kind of big for me.
That's the victory picture right here.
What 2 cards he got there?
The King Jack. Where's the 3-5?
Jack King off?
Yeah, he shoved on me. He shoved on me after I opened the button and I called off a King Jack offsuit.
How many?
Yeah,
It was the actual winning hand.
Yeah, he had 2 5s, and I hit a King Jack on the flop. It was over, pretty much.
That's
wow. How deep was he?
Bro, Antwan the
me
best
and Gabe?
flipper I know. Antwan the best flipper. That was probably like fucking 30 bigs each or something.
Probably about that.
Bigs? Yeah,
it's about that.
Shocker. Yeah, unbelievable. I ain't ever seen this guy lose a flip, Carl.
Damn.
Actually, I had 2-1 chip lead.
Well, how many bigs did he shove? You don't even know?
No, he was short. It was a long time
just
ago.
Went open, shove, call.
Yeah.
How was Gabe in the heads up?
Gambling. They were
gambling. Gabe is really good. So I knew that he didn't want to play big pots. So I was opening from the button kind of big on him early. And then when he decided to open, I jammed on him kind of light, and he was like, "Oh, we're playing like that." Like he didn't know it was playing like that at first. So he was kind of shocked at first. So I think he realized that he was gonna have to gamble with me. And I ended up opening, he ended up shoving. Probably like 20-some bigs, maybe less than that. And I tanked for a while. I had King Jack offsuit, and I was like, you know what? I think it's a good spot. And I called and ended up winning.
Now, your reasoning for calling, when you call, right? You're gonna expect to see certain hands.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you ever have him like dead? Like, did you call expecting to see like a worse king or a worse jack?
Yeah, possibly. He could have had Queen Jack suited. He's shoving Jack 10 suited. He's shoving Jack 10 suited. He's shoving 7s, 5s, 6s. All them hands right there too. So
I'm
you know,
if you're
fine
flipping, you're gonna win it. Is basically what I'm hearing. You know, you're the flip god. Okay, I was just making sure.
Good at flipping, man.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty fucking super standard heads up hand. Open, jam, call. Sounds
Let's
pretty
see if
standard.
anybody online wants to join and ask.
I basically just I hung around. I did a little ICM for a while when we were like 6-7 handed. I just stayed pretty much patient the whole time, and Gabe was just running the table over for a while. I just chilled for a little while, and then I picked my spots, and then I busted like 2 people to put me in position.
All right, Antwan, if you had to back one player in Tampa to play poker tournaments for 1 year. You're buying them in to every tournament they play for 1 year. Who you picking?
You said somebody from Tampa?
Yeah. Well, go. You could answer first, I guess. You each only get one person, so if he steals yours, then you gotta pick someone else.
Send it again. Send the question again. I was typing.
You gotta back somebody for tournaments for 1 year. A local player. Who you got?
Wow.
I know who I'm picking.
Damn, that's a good one, Jerm.
I don't even think it is. I think there's one answer, person.
I mean, Carl.
No, you can't pick anyone in the video chat. That ruins the fun.
Bang bang. That's the right answer.
You gotta pick someone else.
Gabe Fuller.
I don't think I ever play with him, so I don't even.
He reminds me of you.
Stop it.
Serious, he's good. He's really good.
Who
He
you got,
played. You guys play fucking very
Bunkley,
similar.
Who did you say? What was your answer?
I said Gabe. But
Gabe, I would pick him because of his personality and his performance, not just the performance. Because when I pick somebody to back, I want to have a good business relationship with him, and he's got a good head on his shoulder. I told him on the podcast, so he'll be a good candidate. But as far as performance, like nobody like pops out, and I'll be like I don't have a clear answer.
Yeah, I don't clear answer either for that one.
A lot of people are going to be disappointed in this. I mean, there are some consistent players now. Some the players that are putting some effort, at the table. You see them trying hard. They're fighting, but nobody comes. I mean,
my excuse is I live in West Palm now. I don't know anymore.
How far is that from Tampa?
That's a good diversion. Good diversion there. Yeah.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah, I live in West Palm.
It's close to Coconut Creek.
Yeah, Hollywood. I'm over here by Hollywood now.
Okay, we got. So we checked the Hendon Mob.
My answer was Ken O'Donnell, by the way.
Oh my God! Yes.
Clear answer. Yes.
Yes.
Clear.
That's easy. That's easy. And you know what? It's so crazy. I just seen Ken. I just talked to Ken.
He was just out here in Vegas.
Yeah, Ken's a beast. He is fucking tough.
Man, I wanted to get Ken on the podcast just to pick his brain a little bit.
He's really good.
Ken is really good. He didn't want to come on.
Yeah, Ken is really good.
Interesting. Yeah, guys, we don't
want the clout. He just wants the money.
That's all. He don't care about none of that.
I respect it, but I mean, it would have been.
Fuck that. You don't play tournaments for that.
I don't care about it.
You hate the attention. These guys have the same.
You play for the glory.
Listen, we got a hand from Triton Poker between Stephen O'Dwyer and Kilbane. I thought it's interesting.
Okay.
Let's hear you guys' thought.
Well,
let me share the screen.
Kilbane is not a professional. Just for
you know what? Bunkley told me. I didn't know this.
I'm expecting some sort of mistake in this.
You know what? You'll be surprised. Actually, he played a textbook, but let's see the hand.
What is this, Call of Duty?
Looks
Call of Duty, baby.
Game, actually.
Hey, bravo, Henry.
All right.
Nice.
Why not?
Straw.
Henry checking with the flow of play.
Let me set it up here. 1 second.
I heard checking. I'm already disappointed.
Henry.
Damn, Carl, you ain't got this queued up? Oh, here we go.
I did have it queued up. Oh, let me.
Wait, what's the point of watching this right now? What are we doing?
We're gonna talk strategy a little bit. This is the hand breakdown section of the pod. We get
What's your stack sizes?
We get two professionals like yourselves, and we talk a little strategy for the audience. Stack size. I'm gonna give you everything here.
They're like 50 effective, 45 effective, something like that.
Okay, Henry.
All right. Well, for the
Kilbane
people that don't know, the Steve O'Dwyer is one of the best in the world, and the other guy, Kilbane, is
an announcer.
Stephen O'Dwyer is on the circuit, is on the European circuit, and he's grading all the high rollers.
He's an online guy from when I played. O'Dwyer. He was playing online back in the day.
So he been around a long time.
Oh, all them guys. Chidwick. I played with Chidwick. I played with all them guys. Chidwick has been around for years.
Like when the dinosaurs were around.
Like
Chidwick is basically Ken O'Donnell on steroids and a
I'm
studied Ken
surprised they
O'Donnell.
even had computers back then when you were playing, Antwan.
They had typewriters.
Don't forget, I was an old pro. I learned old.
Oh no, we know.
So Kilbane has 48 big blinds. Steven covers. He has 65 big blinds.
Okay.
Kilbane opens to 90K, blinds at 40K. So
Okay.
2.1x, 2.2x. Steve decided to 3-bets 9-10 suited, and I plugged it in the solver. Solver approves. Solver is 3-betting. This is obviously, they're kind of like deep in the tournament. There's only not too deep, but ICM is somewhat a factor. 61 left out of 305.
Is he ever flatting?
Sometimes, yeah. The solver likes the flat at a higher percent, like 3-betting. Here, let's see.
It's not a big deal. Whatever. Mixes. Next. What happens here?
The
Jeremy
solver is 3-betting at like 30% frequency and flatting like 70%. Just because the open came from early, somewhat early. So open 90K. Steven decides to 3-bet small. He doesn't go even 3x. It's like 2.4, 2.3x. So he opens to 90K. Steven makes it, I think, 235. And Henry flats, of course, ace queen off. They go to a flop of queen 8-5, I believe, 2 clubs. So Henry flops top pair. Steven has flush draw.
And straight draw, if that's the right flop.
I'm not sure about the flop. We'll see. I think I wrote it wrong. I don't think he had a straight. I think he had a naked flush draw, front door. Kilbane plays it well. He checks in and plays in flow. And then Steven decides to bet very small, 20% pot, and Steven defends.
Probably a lot of 4-bets too. Kilbane should have with the offsuit.
Yes.
In my opinion, personally, I prefer flatting suited and
4-betting
it back.
Derm, I was just gonna ask you that, Derm. I was just gonna ask you that same thing. I said I was thinking about, especially with him being an amateur and Dwyer kind of knowing that a little bit.
I mean, most of the time you're just gonna miss, and then like now what? I prefer if he was suited to call. Personally, suited call, offsuit 4-bet.
4-bet, I like it too.
No wonder Jeremy makes all the money. Look at the solver here. The solver is 4-betting ace queen off. 4-betting all the value hands, 10s through aces, ace queen suited, ace queen off, and
in position.
Ace king off is shoving.
Flat.
What's that?
In position, I'd prefer to just flat everything, but out I would 4-bet the offsuit.
Ace queen off is doing some 4-betting at a 50%
high clip.
Yeah, well said. So,
see, like he got lucky that he's gonna get a queen high board. Where like, what is he gonna do when it comes like 8-6 deuce and he's getting like double barreled on the turn?
Are you saying when Steven O'Dwyer gets ace-6 deuce?
No, Cobain.
No.
Oh, Kilbane. Yeah. Cobain.
By just calling here, like he ends up getting bailed out, I guess.
Ace queen is gonna brick a lot for sure. Yeah. Let's play the hand. So ace queen, it comes queen high flop, check, bet, call. Turn is a club. Steven gets there with the club draw. Kilbane checks again. And Kilbane has the ace of clubs, by the way. So he's blocking not
What's
flushes.
The board? What's the board?
Here, let's play the hand.
Queen, 90K open, 10-9 suited here.
Is there a way to speed it up?
O'Dwyer in the cutoff. He's chewing on it.
Sure.
And O'Dwyer in a familiar position, having a very nice stack in front of him. He is indeed chewing on it, Ali. A 3-bet draw.
Henry checking with the flow of play.
It was deuce queen 5, not deuce 8-5. I mean queen 8-5.
Yeah, so this will be an easy c-bet. This is one thing I can't take in these tournaments, man. They just sit there and stare at each other for 30 seconds before putting a chip in every street.
You down betting?
Well, I mean, in the Poker Go studio, isn't it the same?
Well, there's shot clocks, and it's 20 seconds pre, 30 seconds post.
Possible, but
I believe they have shot clocks and Triton.
Well, he bet 160.
He bet 140.
So he didn't down bet either. Well, what do you make it? Well, what do you make it? What was his 3-bet size?
235, and
Oh yeah, so he did down bet.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like, if the board was like Queen Jack 5, I think he bets bigger because it's more like connected.
Yeah.
True.
That O'Dwyer does pick up this
That's
club.
right, Ollie.
Another 280 into the middle, pot at 850, and there is the club. Coupled with a wheel gutter, this is a tremendous amount of kit for Kilbane.
Very much is. He'll be check calling something healthy.
Kilbane folds on this river.
I would think, perhaps even raising, and as it
I'd be
stands,
slamming it in
Kilbane
there.
in dire straits,
Bex is
Ollie.
too good.
Absolutely.
I would be check ripping this on the river
Let's see
every time.
how greedy the Irishman will get here.
You gotta love Ali Najad's commentary.
Yeah, Ollie's pretty good.
On the hunt for
The
Did
Irish
you
Kilbane.
hear? Did you hear him and Showman do the nacho accent? Did you
Yeah,
guys hear?
I heard it.
That
Half
clip was
pot.
great.
Yeah, he killed it.
You know,
I like it. Schuman's an old school beast too. He's been around for a long time.
Immediately on him.
Yeah.
O'Dwyer
Okay.
stumbled here a little bit with the chips.
Go back here. So, well, you don't have to go back, but Kilbane scratched his face like this after he saw the bet. So generally, he like, I would not think that he has a very good hand. He actually does have a very good hand, but I think he's just like kind of scared. It's like a big spot,
Yeah.
and
Let's
I guess
see
he is
that. Let's see.
behind.
I'm curious now. Becker is talking about live tells. What's going on?
Yeah, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh shit! Scratches his face. What's going on?
I've never seen somebody do that with the nuts. Personally.
I didn't see it.
Jeremy's live telling these now.
That's
Well, I
the
mean,
only one I'll give here.
Has the 3-bet
He actually has a
here.
really good hand though, so I could
It is
just
a
be
really good hand.
clueless.
Just holding the
I
ace of
think
clubs.
so.
All right, let's see him scratch his nose real quick.
Does Shaman O'Dwyer?
He gives a little
Checking
right on the
feels
face.
possible, but this is quite typical.
And the upside to the check.
So he's trying to stay stoic.
Somewhat conceals
Yeah, but
the club
watch,
draws.
he ruins it.
Seals the club draws, and also Henry's.
Like, I
range
think when
here
he
is
does that, if I'm
overtly
O'Dwyer, I'm
respectable,
never
calling the 3-bet nearing the money, but nonetheless.
No, he has a flush, so it's hard to beat him right now anyway.
For Henry,
Does he do it
let's see if
here?
Goes for call or raise.
Yeah.
By the way, the
I didn't see it, Jeremy.
We missed it, Jeremy.
Potentially.
Hold
in
on,
the
maybe
event
he
that
does it
O'Dwyer
after
does
this?
pick up this
I
club.
definitely saw it.
Another 280 into the middle, pot at 8.
Probably right here.
And there
Oh,
is the club.
okay, he does it here.
Coupled
Oh,
with a
yeah,
wheel
you got it
gutter,
on the flop.
This
I
is a
thought we were on the turn.
tremendous amount of kit for Kilbane.
Very much is
Check.
calling something healthy. I would think, perhaps even raising, and as it stands, Kilbane in dire straits, Ollie.
Absolutely. And let's see how greedy the Irish.
I think when O'Dwyer, if he bets right here and he's called, he knows he has an ace clubs in his hand probably.
I mean, he's probably gonna call again if he. I mean, O'Dwyer actually.
When he
has
continues
hand.
on that board, he has a lot of Queen X. He has a lot of.
There it is. There it is. You saw it, Jeremy?
Oh,
he
shit.
did it. He did it.
I mean, O'Dwyer has a 9 and a 10 in his hand, but like,
Mhm.
let's say he didn't, like hands like that, like 9s and 10s, 8s, like they're not gonna fold now. Like they're gonna call once more, because
with a club.
O'Dwyer could have like ace 10 off with a club, ace jack off with a club, stuff like that.
Right.
So like a lot of hands are gonna call right now.
In game, how much are you betting here on the turn, Jeremy? The pot is
I didn't see what was in the
1.2.
pot. I'm sure whatever O'Dwyer does is fucking exactly what you're supposed to do.
Probably
If I had
five.
to
He
guess.
probably bet five,
Half
450.
pot. He goes half
450.
pot.
It truly depends what I
425.
think Kilbane has. Like, it
Well,
depends how strong I think he is.
I think he's sizing for a river jam anyway.
He is. SPR is one on the river.
Yeah,
Exactly.
generally you always want to size your bets to all in being like a pot size shove.
Yeah.
I think with Kilbane's call, it will be like 2.1 in the pot, and Steven has like 1.8. So SPR is a little less than 1.
Yeah.
Basically committing, like, yeah, he's not going anywhere, and Kilbane shouldn't fold either on that river. But I mean, look what happens. You're gonna be surprised. And I want to ask you.
I was saying he should check jam the river, but O'Dwyer is just gonna rip, I guess. Yeah, honestly, it's probably like, in theory, I would guess a fucking bad fold, but he's gonna look like a genius, I guess.
Right. It's a hard fold right there to make.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Super
sure
hard.
like you're supposed to call, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I don't play like that. He's feeling like he's beat.
You know
Right.
what?
Folded.
I put it in the solver. GTO doesn't even get to the river. GTO is like shoving turn. The money's going in on the turn.
I mean, I don't like that.
So he called 425. And how much does
The initial response
Cobain have behind?
like it
Game,
should be
Molly.
so
It
much
can
more.
be a cold game.
Kman
Huge river
is
coming.
has
1 point.
Kman has way less than pot now.
No, not way less. There's 1-7 in there, and he has 1-2.
He has like half pot behind.
Wire does hold.
You see, the pot is 1 point. Well, the pot is almost 2 now.
Right.
Be a part of the equation.
Yeah,
In here.
honestly, like, I mean, he's looking like a genius if he folds, but you probably should fucking never fold this hand.
He checked. Dwyer shoves. He tank folds, which is
The
insane.
problem is you want O'Dwyer to have the card. If you're Kilbane, you want O'Dwyer to have the ace of
I
clubs.
believe so.
Right.
Molly.
So that's a
Maybe he
reason to
leaves him
fold.
with
Like,
some chips
if
just
he's
to sort
bluffing,
of
he should
play
have
that
this
game,
card, you
but
know?
putting him in is natural.
I think when Dwyer bets a turn, he calls. He knows he has a very strong hand. That's gonna be hard for him to fold it right here on the turn. Very hard for him to
I
fold.
mean,
He's going
really,
for it.
when O'Dwyer bets here and he knows he doesn't have fold equity because the fact that Henry has like
He has
half
fold
pot.
equity. No, he has 30 blinds behind.
Yeah, but the SPR is like he has less than 1 SPR.
Yeah, but that's when GTO don't matter because
Point if Henry has
30 big
time,
blinds is a lot.
I assume he does behind his stack.
30 big
They'll
blinds
be
is a lot,
used
but I'm
if
saying
he does. If he
like
doesn't,
compared to the pot
this is
size.
really
A
crunchy.
pretty
but-
crazy fold. It's honestly very tough folding hands like this to like very capable people.
Right.
Like
Agree.
O'Dwyer could just
They'll
have
be going
fucking
into the middle.
9-10 of hearts right now. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. So when he jams there, what's your thought process here, Jeremy? What are you putting Steven on?
Oh, I don't think I'm folding, Carl.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the next tournament.
Jeremy definitely folded.
Jeremy's going to the
But I
daily
don't know,
after
man.
that.
Sometimes there's just fucking like you just feel it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sitting there, but I tell you, like I'd probably call sitting here on the couch, but like I don't know, maybe at that table I'd be like, fuck it, I don't know how, man, but he's got me.
I
Right.
doubt Steven is gonna give anything. Look at this. He's a robot.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna get anything like
But
that.
you gotta understand too, like
Fortunately,
Steven knows he's an amateur. He knows he's an announcer, so he knows that like
but that's the situation.
he can reverse some things, like
That's what's weighing on
try to get him call off with hands like
so
ace queen. But then he also knows that he knows that he's Steve O'Dwyer, that he's
Bro,
capable.
this is the thing for you.
You know what? The
people out
commentators
there.
they say the same thing. Sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Kilbane probably is not opening deuces. He maybe is opening fives. Let's say he's opening fives. This is the second best hand he ever has here. So I think you would definitely supposed to be calling because his
Fives
hand
are
a lot of the
Position
time
does
looks
precede
like
him. He's very capable of
7s,
running one.
8s, 9s. Like
Three-bet,
he opened and then called a 3-bet out of position. Like this is probably the best hand he has because I'd assume he's
59
not.
now
This
remains.
guy
It
isn't
is-
going to
it
flat
is
aces.
top-
on the outer
It is the
tables.
top of his range, and having the ace of clubs, it's a good call because it blocks all the nut flushes that O'Dwyer is gonna have, like the ace king, ace queen of clubs. That queen of clubs is on the board. He has the ace of clubs. So what club combos does O'Dwyer has that he 3-bet pre besides
Yeah,
9,
but
10?
I think it's better to have ace queen non-club because you want him to have the ace of clubs.
To be bluffing, you mean? I got you.
Yeah.
Or he could just give him kings. He has kings here.
I mean, O'Dwyer's repping
Big hand.
kings, aces.
Yeah,
Flushes.
like he never
flushes.
has sets. He could have ace 3 suited. It is very tough fold. I'm paying, man.
I mean, the value hands are aces and kings. He can't.
Yeah.
Jax is not going to play that way. 8s, 9s are not going to play that way. And they're not going to take that line.
Yep.
So he polarized, basically polarized himself. It's basically nuts or nothing.
I
don't
mean,
think
when he folds here, like
Understandably.
It's complete air
it's
or
pretty
not.
disrespectful.
so? You don't think he played two Black Kings the same way either?
And
No,
does
he
the way
would.
Bravo
No,
has
he
it.
would.
Hats off.
That's what I'm
Very
saying.
nice.
Top of like the premium
You're a
hands are
flyer,
aces,
terrific
kings.
pickup.
I'd
And
be
the
worried.
Unfortunately, that's one of
I'd
those
also be
layouts,
worried
like,
that he
it
could
may
have
take
king
a hand or
queen.
two, dare I say, even an orbit.
I don't think
Yeah.
you play king queen that way.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
take. You're
do
gonna
for
check one
sure.
street. You're gonna check at least a turn. You're not going bet
Why?
on that board.
Bro, the great players get the max with their
Yeah.
value hands.
Agree.
Plus, he probably thinks he's getting 4-bet with ace queen a lot of the time.
True.
And I think for me too, also my game lately, what's helped me a lot is getting my value hands in there and just sometimes value only myself, but really getting paid for my value hands. That's been a
Yeah.
big thing for me lately.
If you're not value owning, you're not value betting enough.
Enough,
Well,
exactly.
Let's go back to the questions. As far as game is concerned, what are you doing at the tables to exploit like amateur players? Things that some exploit that's working for you on the table.
Using my image and then calling three bets too much.
What is your image?
People think I'm crazy.
Who?
I'm very loose.
I think you tight as fuck. You just good as flips.
I know. That's what you think. That's the image I love Jeremy to have.
You actually lost the flip in front of me for heaps.
I don't believe it.
For heaps.
For
I
heaps.
don't
They were
believe
clicking
it.
buttons like it was 2006. Click, click, click. 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet, jam. I'm like, what's going on here? These kids playing like it's 2006 back in the internet.
And we're both chip leader tournament with 36 left.
Yeah. They, how much did you have starting that hand?
I have 340.
Yeah, and
At what big blind?
The blinds were
3-5, 3K, 5K. Somebody 25-5.
right. I shoved
About to be 3-6.
5K, and you had 300K.
Yeah, 300K plus a little bit.
What did you have?
Ace king suited.
Ace king suited
Now,
versus queen.
would you say that you have an edge on the field?
Yeah.
So, like me, like I know you must be at home thinking, how the fuck is he deep in every tournament? I don't understand. It's like Jeremy Becker final table, Jeremy Becker final table. It's like, is he just lucky? You know what? This is what I do if I think I have an edge on the field. I'm never all in pre-flop ever. I don't care if I have aces. I am just never all in pre-flop. I don't care. Yes, you have ace king. You want to see all 5 cards. Fuck all that, bro. Play post-flop.
Wait. Who is this Jeremy? What version of Jeremy are we talking with right now? I think the
I mean, it
candies
depends
were-
on the tournament. Like, if I'm playing a fucking big
the
tournament with really good players, like, yeah, I'm going to push small edges.
The podcast we did not even like a few weeks ago, he was like, you got to be all in the tournament.
Yeah,
so
on
often.
the river. On the
I'm
river. Like,
I'm
bet
like,
that shove.
is steering the people in the wrong
Like,
way. He's
bro,
like, you got to be.
I am never getting in 60 big blinds pre-flop
I know.
with ace king unless, like, I really think this guy's just going off the rails with a worse ace.
And that table,
I could have him dead.
That table at Derby, nobody was getting out of line. Like when
But
Antwan
like, bro,
did
if he
this,
has deuces, there's no need.
when Antwan did this, I'm like, oh, he's running into it because this guy I shove short like 4 big blinds. Antwan min clicks it, so I shove 20 bigs. He actually 3x it. He makes it 70K. The guy across from the table makes it
140.
Is the guy capable?
No.
But
He's never,
I mean, in this spot, all in
this kid is never showing up with like ace 5 suited. This kid has queens plus. I mean, light if he has queens. Very
Does
light.
he have so he doesn't have ace queen?
No way. That kid, no way. After Antwan squeezes, so I make it 20K.
I would probably just make a ridiculous fold.
Antwan clicks
and
it
then when
back.
he shows me like ace jack, I'm just tilted out of my mind.
No.
He had 2 queens.
So when squeeze.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, it's a tournament. The right move is all in. But like, if you think you have like a big edge on the field, just don't take the spot.
Yeah. What I don't like is I don't like how much I made it when Carl. I should have made it smaller.
If Carl was all in for 4 blinds, I would call.
Yeah.
And dude's gonna raise. I'm now gonna back raise. and then it's like then it's decision time.
Then you're gonna fold.
I mean, it depends what I think of the guy. Like I wasn't there. It depends on my interpretation of the guy.
And see, I wasn't there long enough really to even realize
But
what he was
you
doing.
put yourself in a bad spot by like raising Carl's all in by like 3x or whatever, because now the pot's bloated if there's any action.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I mean, I don't hate my shove on him with the ace king anyway. You know, I felt that I had to block his with ace and kings.
It's fine as it went, like whatever. But it shouldn't have been bloated like that. Like you could call the 4 bigs or min raise it. I mean, but same thing with aces. Like I'm just calling with aces too.
All right. I agree. I didn't like. That's the main thing I didn't like about the hand I played. I hate the way I played it pre-flop with Carl. That's what I didn't like. Other than that, everything else happened the way it happened. So, you know,
you lost the flip for
a lot of chips.
Probably top 3.
He chopped it, obviously.
Nah, you're not like that.
Yeah, he made final table.
Yeah, he chopped it.
Move on, guys. We got a lot of questions still. Antwan, tell us a little bit about how you're staying relevant these days. You know, those kids are not all of them. Actually, a few of them are in the lab studying some solver, doing some solver work. How are you staying relevant with these kids? Are you doing any solver work? What type of studying do you do?
I haven't done any solver work. I heard about some solver hands like the ace-5 suited, but I'm basically just watching live streams and just picking up what these guys are doing. I'm watching a lot of Triton stuff. I'm watching a lot of like WPT final tables. I'm watching Europe EPTs. I'm watching a lot of live streams and just picking up stuff from good players. And my favorite player is Adrian Mateos, is one of them, and Fedor. I think those guys are really good. And like Mateos has a thing called Inside the Mind of a Pro that I watched before I won the tournament in Tampa. I binge watched the whole series from like episode 1 to episode 9, and just the way he was breaking down hands and situations, it motivated me so much that I ended up winning the tournament. But I think it really helped me a lot just watching him talk about what he was doing.
I love that show, by the way.
He was unbelievable in that thing. When he won the PCA, I called my boy Big Hooney, Chris Hoonigan, and told him, I said, bro, when you guys played 3-handed, and I said, that shit helped me out a lot, because he congratulated me on my score. And I said, man, I was watching you boys, and I kind of picked up a lot of stuff.
Since you mentioned inside the mind of a pro, let's get inside the mind of Antwan.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say a standard hand, you open, somebody calls. This is a standard question on the pod. What's going on through your head as far as everything?
When somebody calls?
Yeah, you open, somebody calls. What's the thought process? Stack
size, position, you know what I'm saying? The kind of his image and what he thinks about me. Mm-hmm. You know, what I've been doing lately around the last couple rounds of the table. I'm gonna always be aggressive though. So I'm gonna be putting some bets in, and also flop texture. And I gotta have the range advantage. A lot of times, if I know I have the range advantage, I'm winning those pots so comfortably it's gonna be ridiculous. And like a lot of these guys, if I know they don't understand range advantages and spots, I will play differently against those people. But I kind of recognize if a good player and a bad player. So I know the C bet certain times, and then not C bet. My C bet sizing bigger or small.
Let's break it down. I'm gonna make it easier for you. How much you're C betting flops, and what flops are you checking? Like, what's the frequency C bet on what flops, and what flops are you checking?
Depends on the board texture, but I'm C betting a lot most times. I'm probably about quarter pots. I'm depends on the texture though. I bet quarter pot, and I size up on turns.
What board texture are you continuing, like C betting 100, and what the board texture are you like slowing down a little bit? Let's say you open late to big blind defend. So now we know what range is defending. Let's say the flop comes like 4-5-7 rainbow. How are you continuing on that board?
I'm probably gonna bet probably quarter pot. Depends on my stack size with him. Depends on my stack sizes too. I'm probably betting quarter pot. I'm C betting
4-5-7. You're C betting. Jeremy, are you C betting that board?
I open a lot of hands like that too though.
It depends on the positions.
Yeah.
Cut off.
Like if I open under the gun and you call in late position, and like whether I have 6-8 or whether I have aces or fucking jack deuce, like I'm checking. Like my hand doesn't matter. But like if I open like cutoff or something and the big blind defends, like I'm probably gonna bet big.
Yeah. Position matters. Position matters a lot.
People, your physical hand doesn't matter. It's
Mhm.
about like your perceived range on these
Yeah.
boards.
But see, I never said you have a specific hand. I said you're opening from a certain position. So we're talking range versus range. So let's say you open cutoff and big blind defend. Flop comes like 5, 6, 7. What's your action on the flop? Both of you. Let's hear Becker first.
I'm split between checking and betting more
Yeah,
than half pot on that.
it's nothing finite when it comes to betting. Like it's never 100%. You know, it's never just I'm going to bet
It
100%
also
every
depends
time.
who you're playing. Like, if I'm playing someone who's like gonna check raise me and put me in a lot of spots, like I'm gonna check.
Yeah.
But if
Mhm.
it's someone that's like just never check raising without like just having it,
I'm always
then I'm
betting.
gonna bet because it's a free roll. If they raise me, like I lost. And if they don't, like I'm just gonna try to get them off it or just bet for value, like depending on what I have.
So what flops are you checking, Bex? And Antwan?
On what? Cut off big blind?
Let's say low jack or cutoff. You open cutoff, big blind defend. What boards are you checking? Like at a high frequency?
I like. Why do our positions keep switching on this thing?
We lost you here for a second. I don't know why.
Like maybe like 9, 10 X boards. I don't have much depends.
Those you should be betting, but like
So
you definitely should be betting like let's say 9-9-3, right? Easy
Yeah.
C bet, win a lot. But
Mhm.
me personally, I like checking those super dry boards where you're supposed to bet a lot,
Mhm.
just because then the other person's like, why is he checking that? Like,
It must be
what?
strong.
You know, like
amateur
and
in
3, 4,
general,
5, 4, 5, 6 probably shouldn't be betting those boards a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Solver. So in the solver world, when you open late and they defend from the big blind, like all these coordinated low boards, you're checking at a high frequency, and if you decide to bet, you bet big, like Becker said earlier. Paired boards, just because the amateurs don't give you that much credit, so they continue really wide, and it's really hard to take down the pot if you're bluffing. So I would say if you do have the 9, like let's say you open Jack 9 suited and it comes 9-9 deuce, when you bet, they're calling you super wide. They're raising sometimes the deuce. Like if they
Really?
call the big blind, some people, because they don't
I
give you
don't get a
credit.
lot of that.
They don't give
Also,
you credit.
a big mistake is people like their C bet is just one size. So like
Mhm.
Half
I'm
pot.
gonna bet, like I'm gonna bet quarter pot. Like whether the board is like 9-10 jack or deuce deuce 8, like which is a mistake. Like your bet sizing should be based on like the different board
texture.
textures.
Yeah, you said it earlier. You said O'Dwyer should bet bigger if the board is coordinated versus Kilbane. Yes.
But like, yeah. I don't
Um,
know. I'm not trying to help out other people get better at the game.
I know. We just like to mix in a little bit of strategy here on the pod, so people keep the people interested.
Yeah.
We want to give the
And
people what they want.
I think like those boards for me, like I take down a lot of those pots when they pair boards. So like people aren't really out here, like especially depends on who's in the big blind. Like they're not out here check raising too crazy.
Okay, let me give you an example who would check raise, and I've seen it like maybe 4 times this week. Jerry and Mike Silva.
Yes.
Those guys are gonna put you in spots. Like let's say
I wouldn't see bet against Jerry though.
Yeah,
that's easy.
If I could play against Jerry every day for the rest of my life, I'd have more money than Bill Gates.
Jerry gave me all the trip of the day.
Me too.
But Jerry's aggressive. Jerry just doesn't know who to be aggressive against. He put people in bad spots.
Super hyper aggressive. So 9-9-5 flop, he has like 5-6. He's check raising you on that
100%.
if you see bet. So those guys are no matter what, if they have a piece of the board, there's no like balance. There's no like they're putting their hands in categories, which hands to see bet, which no. It's piece of the board, they're going for it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's about your opponent.
Let's move on to some of the questions from the chat. We have a lot of your post got a lot of attention on Facebook today.
Hey, I had a question.
We got
on
Becker.
there.
We got Becker on the pod. You know how famous this kid is?
Guy's a
Hey,
superstar.
read my question. I had a question on there.
Oh,
What's
your
your question?
Of course. We don't miss any question. Every question
Carl's
out
got
of
it.
line, in line, it's gonna be asked. That's for sure. Your question is coming up. Your question
Read
is
my
number
question
4.
verbatim. No, read it number 1.
Number 4 verbatim. It's coming. Gabe Fuller on Instagram asked, shout out to Gabe. How you been an aggressive? Have you been an aggressive player from the beginning of your career? Question mark.
Yes.
So the aggression factor.
Yes, when I first started, I was very aggressive. When I first got looked at, like when my buddy David Randall saw me online playing, he watched me play for a while. And he saw how aggressive I was. I didn't know how to control it, but he liked that I had aggression, and he felt that it could be reined in with some help. So that's when he first saw me playing online. He's like, "Wow, this guy is super aggressive."
We always say having the aggression factor is always a plus. Whether you know what you're doing or not, sometimes it does get you in trouble. You don't know when to slow down. This kid here in the top corner, he knows how to use it effectively. So he's super aggressive.
Are you talking about me? Am I top
Yes.
corner?
Yes,
Okay.
the J Becks.
Me and Jeremy,
I'm
before Jeremy went to Vegas, we played a lot of pots together.
Buddy, you made the worst call I've ever seen in my life.
We're getting there. Don't rush. Don't rush. So have you been aggressive, from the beginning, or did you develop that over time? So the answer is yes from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, firing shots left and right. Lamont Townsend, I hope I'm not butchering his
Lamont
name. Townsend, yes, on Facebook says, no, he posts 2 flexed arm emojis. So he's got 2 flexed arms. Nothing was said. Dustin
He
Bradley.
even got a question.
No question. Just I
on,
told you
Lamont.
everything's gonna be mentioned though.
All
Dustin Bradley on Facebook says the legend. We agree. The legend. Jay Bex.
Here we go.
Who's that guy?
On Facebook says
Let's hear his question. This is gonna be good, I think.
Wow.
Let's hear it.
The bombshell. Was the 4-4 pocket fours call against me the worst call of his life, or is there even one that's somehow worse? Question mark.
Hey,
Have you
listen.
topped that call?
so-
have you made a worse call since then?
If so, let's hear it.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
If you have, I want to hear the hand.
If there's
Listen,
a worse
Jeremy.
call, we need to hear
Listen,
it.
Jeremy has ridiculed me for this hand for the past 2.5 years.
It's just
When
terrible.
I saw Jeremy in Vegas. He still talks. Me and Jeremy play over probably 80 hands against each other the past 7 years.
How about you
This
tell
is
the
the-
audience and me, break down the hand, how it happened,
honestly,
what tournament?
Antwan, you don't need to say it because it's so fucking embarrassing. I don't want to put you through that.
Wow. No, I mean, you asked. We need the answer.
I guarantee he doesn't even tell it right. So let's hear what he's got. Hold on.
Go ahead.
But
I can't remember.
but
I can't remember the hand.
Hold on. But the question was, have
Yes.
you made a worse call since? And if so, what? So
I could have, but that one
no
was
shit.
probably bad against you. I give it to you. But see, what Jeremy does is
No,
Jeremy
that one's
aggravates you so
bad,
much at the table.
period.
He aggravates you so much at the table that you want to bust him. You just want to bust him because he gets on your fucking nerve. He gets up in your craw, up in your ass, and you want to bust his ass so
That's
bad.
strategy. That's strategy.
It is. It is. It's great. And so I was like, fuck this guy today. I want to see him walking back to the cage. That's going to be his ass
good.
today.
It wasn't. Red was closed. We were like near the money.
So let's hear
So
the
how
hand.
am I
Let's
gonna-
hear the
It
famous
was
hand.
horrible. He
What?
opened relatively early. I jammed.
Wait.
like
We need details. What's the buy-in? What's the tournament? How many left?
It's a daily. We're probably like, I don't know, less than 10 off the money or something. Like,
Okay.
you want to tell it or should I?
I can't remember. I remember the call off.
You
I can't remember the
obviously
details.
it left an imprint on you. So let's hear it from you, Jeremy.
He's opening too wide because he's feeling himself. It's the first time he's had some chips in a long time. It's been a minute. He's opening way too wide. And I go, Antwan, you keep opening. Like, I'm going to have to put you in your place in a little bit. So whatever, I'm down to I think I had 31 blinds. Antwan opens early, right? So
Yeah.
mine is a punt. Mine is a punt too. But at least I'm making the aggressive action and putting my foot down, Antwan opens relatively early. I have ace-9 of clubs. I still remember the suit. I have ace-9 of clubs. I sail it in. He's not calling, bro. It's 31 bigs, and he's opening all sorts of shit. Carl, I swear to God, it was the fastest call I've seen in my life. He beat me in the fucking pot. He has
That's
2 fours.
disrespectful.
He has 2 fours. For me to shove ace-9 suited for 31 and get called and be flipping, be in good shape is that's when he says call, I'm dead.
Oh yeah, you're expecting to see jacks here.
He beat me in the pot with 2 fucking fours, like I ever have worse. I'm just folding 2s
And
and
I
3s.
feel in these spots when they call you fast like that, you're never winning. When they have
Carl-
that confidence in the pocket pair, you're never winning. You're never getting there. It's going
Carl-
brick, 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 brick.
Carl, the way that he called me, I thought he had aces. I thought he had 2 aces.
I
Wow.
thought I did
Yeah.
too. It was 2 4s. It looked like 2 aces.
He had
Sailboat.
2
He had the
fours,
sailboat.
and you know
Sailboat.
with the way he runs, I mean, we didn't even get a fucking sweat. Actually, I remember what happened. We actually did get a sweat. I flopped a 9. He turned a 4. You remember that?
Oh, that's even. Wow,
That-
Max Payne right there.
And he, of course, he starts celebrating like he just won the main event. Like, have a good night, Germ. Like, I'll see you tomorrow, Germ.
Wow.
Like, whatever, man. That was the worst call I ever seen. Take
I
your pop.
think this is the part that's making you butthurt. It's the celebration more.
It was.
Because you know,
I
Bex
swear.
never celebrates when he busts somebody.
He
That's
talked shit to me.
Bro,
He talked shit to me.
I don't celebrate. I just say, hey, good game. See you
Hey,
tomorrow.
he's fucking texting me and fucking on Facebook and my messages, talking shit. Like that's when he busts me in tournaments, Jeremy's always talking shit.
You don't
You
understand,
know what?
Carl. I'll be playing like let's say I'm playing like a really big tournament, all right? I'm playing at Aria in a high roller, right? And someone says something to someone else. That's the worst call I ever seen. I say, not me. I seen one worse than that, and I tell him the story.
The
I say
story.
his name's Big City Bunk.
Whoa.
I set up the hand, but I don't say his hand. I go, he snapped, and
What
then
he
I'm like,
had?
guess what he had, and they're all guessing. 100 guesses, they ain't gonna get 2 fucking 4s. That's for sure.
So that hand is historical. So it's being
it's just a
talked
joke.
about in Vegas.
It's a
even.
joke.
Damn.
That hand is fucking embarrassing.
Hey,
The
look,
fact that
look,
he calls
Carl.
himself a poker player.
Carl, I had to finally admit to Jeremy. What was it, Jeremy? What, a couple months ago?
Man,
I
don't know.
finally
I
talked
take
Jeremy.
everything you say with a grain of salt after that.
I talked to Jeremy. I said, "Look, Jeremy, you know what? It was a bad call, brother. That's all I wanted to hear. That's it."
Bro,
I mean,
he was defending it in real time. He goes,
in
I know you got
hindsight,
ace,
it's
deuce,
not-
and
it's
threes.
not
I
like-
go, not in a million years, Antwan.
What did Solver say? What did Solver say?
The solver ain't calling. The solver is
31
not calling,
bigs.
Antwan.
Probably folding. Let's move on, guys.
Probably.
Let's move on from
Probably.
this hand. Kenny Nguyen says, "Gotta get it in behind to beat you." I think he's talking about you, Bex.
Yeah, that's a fact. He knows. That's the only
Damn.
way they get me. They put it in dead, or they fucking snap with 2 4s, and luckily
And
they're
be-
flipping.
And celebrate.
I'm a
Yeah.
favorite.
Christian
great call,
Ramsey,
Antwan.
shout out to Christian on Facebook, says, "There's definitely a worse one. He did it to me." Oh shit, let's hear it.
Oh.
I don't remember the hand Christian's talking about. I really don't.
Big City known for them fucking bad calls, but he stays
Wow.
getting bailed out because he's Sunrunner. He's a Sunrunner.
David
It
Smith.
must be nice. I'm jealous.
Shout out to David. He says Maurice is a thief. I think he means you.
No, he ain't talking about me. He knows.
talking
He
about
probably
Maurice.
knows. Maurice is my brother-in-law.
Oh, Maurice. He's talking about Maurice Hawkins.
By the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
I have good interactions with Maurice. A lot of
Yeah, I
people
mean-
like to
Me
talk
too.
bad about him. I think he's a fucking hysterical at the table. He keeps you entertained. He's always never been disrespectful to me or
Always
nothing.
been
Never.
nice
I
to
don't
me,
know
actually.
anyone personally who he's fucked with the money or nothing.
Yeah.
So shout out him. He's good people to me. So I don't
Shout out to
know.
Maurice. You know what?
I
if
just
you
saw
can
him
get
too.
us, if you can get us Maurice on the podcast and you can co-host it, that would be an interesting one.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, please.
I'll see what I
I don't
can
know
do.
if you're ready for that, Carl.
Talk and blow up.
We can adjust. We can adapt. Dustin Bradley replies, "Shots fired. Bang, bang." Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Nicole Diaz. Shout out to Nicole on Facebook.
Nicole, shout out Nicole.
That's a serious question. What is your edge at the table? It's a multiple.
I'd love to hear this.
It's a 3-part question. First part. Oh, we lost you, Bunk, there for a second.
I'm here.
What is your edge at the table? That's the first part.
I think it's my hand reading, and people don't give me enough credit. It's my hand reading, and people don't give me enough credit as far as like my analytical side, as far as my bet sizing and me knowing hand ranges and me knowing flop textures and me know range advantages and stuff like that. I think people don't know I know that stuff like that a little in depth. So people give me a lot less credit. So I take
agree.
advantage of that.
I've made mistakes against you before.
Mhm.
Thinking you're lighter than you actually are.
Yeah.
Do you have any weaknesses? Bang.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I play pre-flop, like Jeremy said. I give no spots like that, and I like what Jeremy does too. Actually, his post-flop play where he balances his ranges a lot, and I noticed that when I play with Jeremy a lot too. Like I saw him a few times do it with like jacks. I saw him do it with aces. So his balance is really good, and I like that about what he does. So sometimes I incorporate that in my game too, because like you said, if you have an edge on the field, you probably shouldn't be playing too much pre-flop. And sometimes I get so fucking gung ho, and I get in pre-flop. But I like playing a little bit more post against these guys. They make a lot more mistakes on turns and rivers. So I think I play a little bit fast pre-flop sometimes.
One of the best attributes that Jeremy has is composure. He's composed in big spots and doesn't spaz. So you're never going to see Jeremy on a day 2 or like a big spot putting 50, 60 bigs behind. Like that's one of his major attributes. He's always composed, and that comes like he can work on it. Sometimes it's instilled in you, and sometimes you can work on it. I don't know how he got it. What's your secret, Bex? How do you stay composed in big spots? Being calm was it like one of your attributes?
You just got to trust your decisions. So like, actually, I got a story today. So today, actually, I had a day 2 at Venetian, and I finished 10th. But at one point, there was probably like 20 left. I had a spot. I had to go for it. I flopped the gutter and had the aggression, and I was just like, let's go. Like, I know he's got middle pair. Like, I'm so sure. And whatever. I went for it, and I kept 3 blinds back. Just the way the size of the pot was. Like, I still overbet, but I kept 3 blinds back, and he ends up calling me.
I like it. How many people are left?
20.
It was like 20.
Okay.
Actually, I think there was 2 tables left, so it was probably 18. And so I'm down to 3 blinds, and I'm talking shit the whole tournament. So they see me get caught, and I'm starting to hear it. They say, "Oh, I guess you're not winning this one. Like, no photo today." Like, I go, it was 30K big blind. I go, "You don't see this 90,000 right here?" Like, I'm like most people, bro. They'd be all in blind the next hand. They just gave up their tournament. I mean, I finished 10th, and honestly, I got fucked in 10th. So I spun that 3 blinds up to, I tripled. I had ace 10 versus ace 7 and ace 7. By some miracle, I held. I tripled to like 10 there. And then I was between 10 and 15 bigs for fucking hours. We were at like 50. But instead of me saying, fuck this, I just gave it away. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I was ready to grind them 3 bigs for fucking 8 hours if I got it.
I agree.
Like, let's get inside your mind for a second. 7 big blinds. What's your range looking like? And are you opening from, let's say you have 7, you had 3 today, but let's say you have 7 bigs. Is there anything you're opening, any hand you're opening with? What's the ranges looking like? Or is it all shoves? Or is there some limps? What's going on with 7 big blinds? What's the strategy?
For
7
me,
bigs.
And I know it's not correct, but for me, I don't only have a shove range there, and I'm pretty sure you're probably supposed to only have a shove range.
I mean, I can tell you exactly what the solver is doing with 7 bigs. These days, the 7 bigs, this is going to be eye-opening for a lot of people.
You're open too?
Actually, no. It's all shoves.
All shoves.
The solver's shoving. Yeah, it has. I don't know if I can put it on. Actually,
I think 9 is probably the lowest you can start open maybe.
I
take a different range from every position, but I'll show you what the range is looking like. 1 second.
I take risks though too. Like, I'm out here the other day and it actually worked. I had 18 bigs in the cutoff with jacks. Standard play would just be 2 bigs. I'd actually say in like the typical tournaments, like the daily tournaments, I would say the average player is just open ripping there.
Yeah.
Which is like
such
a big mistake.
Yeah, open there.
Bex, look what the solver is doing with 7 bigs. It's shoving all these hands. This is under the gun, like deuces plus, all the suited aces.
I'm not shoving deuces under the gun for 7 bigs. I'm folding.
You're not shoving ace deuce suited?
So deuces.
No, I said deuces. I'm not shoving deuces or
I'm not shoving deuces either.
I'm just
folding. This is what that range looks like from the button. There's no opens. It's just straight shoves. Deuces plus. all the suited aces, all the suited kings, all the way down to king deuce, queen 3 plus, and then all the suited
Yeah.
sevens, and then
I
all the
would
offsuit aces.
I would say I'm not. I would say in this spot, me personally, I mean this is what correct. What you're looking at right now is what is right. But
This
I
is
would say
this is playing against.
I have
Sorry,
a
go ahead.
tighter range than that. I'd say I have a tighter range than that in that spot, and I'm not only playing shoves.
Hold on
Let's
one
say
second,
we
guys.
change
Hold on.
that.
1 second.
Go ahead. Let's say we change that to 12 bigs. Look what the range is starting to look like. There's some opens now.
TV is on.
Like we're opening ace-5 suited as bluffs. So bluffs are like ace-5 suited, ace-6, ace-7, ace-8. We're shoving sometimes. Actually, sorry, we're limping. The greens are limps. So we have some limps now with 12 bigs.
I like that, but as you see, the limps like, oh, it does have some jack limps.
Jack is limping like at a high frequency. Jack.
Yeah,
I like it.
I was gonna say I actually didn't think this was a thing, and the guy asked me, so I opened limp, folded to me in the cutoff off 18, and there was an aggressive small blind, and I was like, he's just like gonna try to take the spot. I thought so.
Right.
I limped jacks off 18 in the cutoff. Now most people are like, jacks, oh my god, like I'm scared. What if an overcard comes? Like, let's go. Like I love going post flop.
Right.
So I limp. Button limps too. Small blind completes, who is the guy I thought was going to go for it, and the big blind just rips like 30 effective. I call, obviously. He had jack 10 suited, and by some miracle I held. And that's just like a spot where I don't know if it mattered. Maybe if I just open 2 bigs, he still puts me in. Like, I'm not sure of his strategy. But like, so whatever. I doubled up, and the guy next to me, who's like some Euro, he's into poker, he's like, is that a thing? I'm like, that's my thing. And he goes, no, but you know what I mean? Like, is that? And I go, I mean, I doubt it, but I don't know. I ain't even got a computer, man. You're asking the wrong guy.
So you said you had 18 bigs?
Yeah. I just felt like I truly, in that situation, just like, I don't know. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm limping. Like, I felt like it was going to work out if I limped.
Yeah, and
Where,
you said
like,
the guy's aggressive too, so
yeah. I don't know.
I like
So,
it.
like, I definitely don't always do what's like theoretically correct, but I think some shit that I do, like for me, just works out.
Obviously, what you
I'm
did,
also
you just,
very comfortable post.
you
Yeah.
adjusted very well. Yeah, see, you limped from where? Low jack?
Cut off. Which looks very weak. If you're like, oh my god, he's just limping in late position, like
You're
he's trying to
doing
see a
some
free
limp.
flop.
Some limps in the with jacks with 18 bigs. You're limping 25% and then raising 75%. So yeah, the solver's doing limps too, so it's correct. At a low frequency, but he's doing it's a
No,
thing.
I'm not saying I always do it, but like that's what I do. All right, I got to tell my friend. If I see him, I say, hey, remember you asked me?
Tell him it's a thing.
A little bit. A little bit.
Queens is
in
limping too at a small frequency. All the big pocket pairs are limping. Tens limping as much as jacks. 25%.
I think you have to be balanced though. So if I am incorporating some
Yeah.
limps like there,
Right.
I also need to limp other hands that like I'm not calling off with, like 9-10 suited type stuff.
This is what we're shoving. We're shoving all the dark red are shoves, like deuces through fives, ace 4, ace 5, ace 6 as bluffs, and then we have some bluffs with like suited broadways.
I fucking hate open shoving those low pairs. I think they're great for like, you know, late position open. If you have a lot of fold equity, like let's say you open cutoff and I have like 25 effective small blind, like sure, deuces and threes is just gonna print by shoving. But the problem is when you're shoving these low pairs, when they say call, like you're literally praying you're flipping, and that's just never a good spot to be in.
The solver does it for balance. It always has value, and the balance are the bluffs and the deuces, threes, fours. We can't call them like value hands. So it's balancing some bluffs, the low pocket pairs, some suited.
I would rather shove like jack 9 suited than fours.
Because
I mean, big cities out here calling off for 30 with 2 fours.
I like 9-10 suited and jack 10 suited too.
Because you know,
gotta balance it.
When you're short stack, your hand perform much better post flop when it's called. Like the low pocket pairs are going to be beat so often. Like I know it's they call it a flip, but it doesn't perform well. Raw equity and realized equity are two different things. When you're short, high card hands go up in value and like low card hands go down in value. So like suited connectors are not even a thing. Let's see what we're doing with suited connectors.
I think my 10 to 15 big blind game has gotten better too. I've worked on that a lot too. Like
it's your 10, 15. That's what makes Jeremy great.
Yeah, it's important. And you know who else? You know, Maurice is good at that too. Maurice is good at surviving with big blinds.
All the
Yeah,
people
you gotta
with
be. That's such a big.
Yeah.
People, I'd say the biggest like, what is it? Trait of like people that just will never win are people that like are used to having a lot of chips and then they
Right.
get fucked or lose a big pot and mentally they're just like,
Still,
I'm done.
yeah.
We're like, it's a tournament. Like you might have 100 bigs at one point and you might have fucking 6. Like
Yeah.
you can't give up.
You cannot. You gotta keep fighting. Like that's part of the game. It's ebbs and flows. You're gonna have chips. You're gonna lose some. You're gonna have chips. You're gonna lose some. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
And it's about knowing how to survive with that short stack is what's going to set you apart. And we're giving a lot of secrets right there. Like I'm surprised Jeremy's talking about this because I think that's the biggest secret is knowing. And I used to laugh at OMCs back in the day. I said it before on the podcast that you used to limp or just flat arrays with like 7, 8 big blinds and not going all in. That wasn't even a thing before solvers.
Right.
People knew like sub 20 bigs, there's no limping, there's no opening. You're just sending the whole stack and trying to double up. There was no maneuverability with that stack. Nowadays, the solver is telling you to open off of a 13, 12 big. The kid here is opening off of a 7 big blind. He's like, oh, I still have opens.
No, I mean, I'm playing mostly shoves, but like,
yeah,
I will mix in some opens.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Let's finish the questions. So Nicole said, you have an edge at the table. Do you have any weaknesses? We talked about that. Personally, I think your table presence is unmatched. Agree with that.
I'll disagree, but
what do you think, Jeremy? My table presence is pretty good.
Buddy, all I can
presence?
think about is you snapping me off with 2 4s, bro.
I mean, Jeremy's not as intimidating.
I can't take you seriously after that.
Hey, you played
I
for
don't
6
know,
years.
Carl. You ain't sit with me with them shades now. I might have
The
some
shades
intimidation.
might help your case a little bit. Yeah,
but I'll be in Hollywood for the main in a few weeks. So
Okay.
come on down. Check this table presence out. I'll be there.
I'm trying to get rooms down there, man. It's like impossible. They had no rooms.
Oh, it's ridiculous. That's what Jeremy gave me. That's what Jeremy gave me COVID at when he came back from
I
Hollywood.
I didn't give you.
You
COVID.
did. You were
Stop
sitting
it.
right next to me.
What you talking about?
You and
Fernando.
you and Fernando fucking gave me COVID.
I remember we were sitting next to each other. We were both wearing masks.
I was right there.
Man, I can't believe we wore masks back in those days. That was ridiculous.
I might bring the mask back. I might bring a mask back.
A la Ike Hexton?
Yeah, Negreanu's
I still see.
really doesn't. He's like, it's fine that he wears a mask if he thinks it's like a health thing, but on breaks he's smoking cigarettes outside.
Ike Haxton is trolling people. He's taking it too far. Too far. Like
He's winning.
I think it's poker. I think it's like a poker thing.
I mean, if it's hiding tails, that's fine. But like he's
I don't
like
think that's fine. I think the opposite. I think if he thinks it's like a health thing, whatever, let him do it. But if it's a poker thing, I don't think it should be allowed.
I mean, I think if you have an autoimmune disease or something and your immune system is like down and you want to wear a mask, go ahead. I mean, again, we're going to get hate about this. People are free to do whatever they want, but don't be wearing the mask in like a winning picture and just like all the time on Twitter, he's wearing the mask and he's like almost proud of it and proud that it's a topic.
I don't care, man. Everyone can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever, for sure.
Don't bother me.
Willie M, shout out to Willie Muhammad on Facebook says, looking forward to this one. He was going to come on and ask questions, but we had the date set up for next week until Jay Bex changed everything. My question is for Antwan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any poker player that you model your game after, or are you just a self-taught beast at the table?
I mean, I've taken bits and pieces of players that I came up and I watched along the way. Like I said, Chad, David Randall, Motion, Toronto, old school guy.
Do you talk poker with Maurice?
Maurice. Yeah, me and Maurice traveled the circuit together for like a year. Me, him, and Barry Hutter.
But nowadays, do you guys talk poker?
Yeah, I asked him some questions about some hands every now and then. Yeah.
And when he gives you answers, are you like, "What the fuck, really?"
No,
or
he
is
gave
it
me,
like,
he
"Oh,
he gave
okay"?
me, yeah, he gave me some good answers actually. And I came up with like Ryan Eriquezo, Barry Hutter, like Jake Schindler, like all those guys. I talked to him with Jake before. We all came up together. Fareed Jedden, Rafael Reese. So I've had some good players that I've been around and got to talk to about poker. So that's helped me a lot. Jeremy Becker, the Becks.
The GOAT.
I mean, there's only so much poker you can talk with a guy calling off with 2 4s, though.
Oh, damn. That's
Oh
brutal.
man.
That's
Hopefully,
brutal.
you could catch me on a stream this next week. I'll be in the studio and they stream the final tables. So hopefully, I make one and you could learn something.
I might. I watched the last one. I didn't learn too much when you got picked off by Lonis.
Well, you see, I stand by that hand. Actually, he just had like $200,000 in football game bets that day, so he was in a gambling mood. I
Nice
stand by that
volley.
hand.
Nice
I think that
volley
hand was
of
good.
shots. Back and forth.
Lonis is a beast. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It was messing with Jeremy.
We actually broke down that hand on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy had it was a good play. Lonis is just tough.
You know what it was? It was fucking 2 people pretty much knowing exactly what the other person had.
Exactly.
Or I'd say I knew what he had. I'd say he was in a gambling mood and was hoping I had what I had, is what I'll say. But who knows? Maybe he was just like, "Bro, I'm gonna get him. Watch this." So who knows? But I knew what he had.
Could have been a soul read.
Did you watch the pod and you see me give you credit or give both of you credit about your hand reading ability? And I said you're both world class about knowing exactly where the other person was, the other player was.
Who was the podcast with? I'll check it out.
It wasn't the last one. The one before, it was. I think it was with Michael Lockey.
All right, I'll check it out. I will say Jesse has a lot of money riding on me this summer with this bet, and I think he's taken my side because we definitely have similar, like, sort of. We're both field guys. We've never fucking looked at a solver. Like,
well, you look now.
We have some history, and like we both are just fucking live guys, like, and that fucking has been proven to win.
Guys, we got 4 more minutes. We're at the almost at hour 50 minutes. That was.
I'm pulling for Germany this summer. I think Germany's got it.
Put your money up, man. Let's go. Find someone to bet.
I'm going to bet out there. I get the Vegas. Let's do it. You better fucking win too. Don't blow this shit, bro.
Buddy, I'm gonna do my best. I'll tell you.
I don't want to hear that. You're an ex-athlete. You're ex-athlete.
We know what I'm thinking. I mean, I can't give no promises, but I'm gonna win. I seen
your hoop game too on the clip.
What clip?
I seen you behind the back little pull-up jump you had on the clip you had recently.
Clip?
Basketball.
That's old. He's got it pinned on his Twitter.
I haven't played nothing recently.
Oh, you haven't? Because your boy showed that. What's his name?
Oh, Kyle.
Kyle showed that.
That was from college. Yeah.
That was old?
I was working him. Yeah, that was old.
Jeez, you played since then?
I mean, I've played since then, but not much.
My youngest son got his first offer.
Shit, probably.
My youngest son got his first offer from St. Vincent College in Pennsylvania, D3.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice.
Guys, let's ask those last couple questions and wrap it up.
Go ahead.
Willie M said, I'm taking notes from you. LMAO, laugh my ass off. Emoji, a 100 emoji, flexed arm emoji. Okay, so Willie M, too bad he couldn't come on the pod. Curtis King on Facebook asked, is it true you used to play pro baseball?
Yes, it is. 8 years.
We covered that.
Yep.
Shout out to Curtis. We might get him on the pod too. Anthony Martino on Facebook asks, that's an out-of-line question. Are you really the Iceman after Rogaine? Who's the Iceman?
Man. I've seen him in Vegas a few times too.
Who's the Iceman? I don't know what that means.
He's a picture of the Iceman. He was kind of like known around Vegas for a while. He'll come out with all this just like chains and shit. And he had like a little beard like mine, but he had no hair though. Bigger guy.
He's a poker player?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, but I haven't seen him in the past like probably like 5 or 6 years though.
Okay, guys, we're gonna watch one more clip and we're gonna wrap it up with this clip. Shout out to Danny Lobato. He sent it to me and we had a laugh. This guy claims that he's a coach on Facebook, and I'm sure a lot of people follow him. But his coaching, like, I just troll him. Like, I watch to see how bad the video gets, and I hate to shit on people that are trying to put content there. I'm all about poker content if it's good, but this guy's content is something else. Like,
is it beer?
It's his name is Rain Man something. His handle on.
Is he trolling? Or
No,
serious?
he's not trolling. He's serious. He's serious. So when he talks about poker, so when he talks about a flop and he's talking about like a hypothetical situation, he'd be like, okay, when the flop comes, ace of hearts, 9 of spades, 5 of diamond. Instead of saying like ace 9 5 rainbow, he has to like specify the suits. But it's a
I don't want to watch no clip of this, man.
It's gonna be a short clip. He's talking about what hands never fold. I mean, he's talking. So let me share it's funny to watch, and we'll get you guys' opinion on it, and we'll
I haven't even seen it, and I got an opinion that I don't want to see this.
Watch it.
Fold these 3 hands. Ace 8 of diamonds. Guys, if the flop comes with the 9 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, and deuce of diamonds, we have
Bro puts the nuts on board. He's like, never fold ace 8 of diamond, and he puts the nuts on board. So he flops the nuts.
I think he's trolling.
He's trolling.
This can't be real. The guy's troll. I promise he's trolling.
Boys, he's not trolling. This watch.
flopped the nut flush on this board. If they have a lower flush, you're going to win a massive pot in this situation. The next hand you never want to fold is pocket 5s. Guys, this hand is all about hitting 3 of a kind on the flop. If it comes with a king 5-3 and they have a hand like ace king, you're going to win a massive pot in this situation. And finally, never fold the queen 10 of clubs. Guys, if the flop comes with the king jack 9 on this board, we have the nut straight. This is the kind of spot I am never going to be slow playing. I'm always going to be making a strong bet here, or if they make a bet into me, I'm going to be making a big raise because I want to make sure that I charge a hand like top pair the max.
Boys, this is not a troll. This is serious talk. I promise you it's not a troll.
100% trolling.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Carl fell for the troll.
It is not a troll. This is serious coaching. I'm telling you. We would not troll him if he was trolling.
No, he's the guy. The videos are trolling. The guy is trolling.
Yeah, the guy's trolling.
The guy in the video is not trolling. I'm telling you.
He is.
Okay. When we wrap this up, go on YouTube and look up Black Rain. I'm
not looking this guy up. I've seen enough of the video now, but he's trolling.
Definitely trolling.
Guys, Bunk, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Becker, thank you for co-hosting.
Keep snapping people off with them 4s, Big City.
If it happens in Tampa, I will make sure to snap a picture and send it to you.
It'll happen in Vegas somewhere against Germany. I'm snapping his ass off with pocket 3s.
Buddy, I'll be here all summer. Come find me.
I will.
I'll be here all summer.
I'm coming looking for you, brother. We need to go to the Philippines so you can take a vacation.
I don't know about all that.
Oh, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot to tie it up. I heard you tied up now. So
he's engaged now.
Engaged?
Never in my life. Don't even joke about that.
Ooh.
Never in my life will I be engaged.
How long y'all been kicking it?
Let's not go there. We don't want
the podcast over, man.
Fans want to know. Is Becker available?
The ladies want to know. I mean,
is Becker available?
They're lined up.
Depends who's asking.
Oh, if it's a 10, it depends if it's a 7 or a 10 asking. Guys, we got to wrap it up before it goes off the rails. Thank you for coming on. It was very interesting.
All right, man. Appreciate you for having me, y'all.
If there's one thing you learn on this podcast, don't play like Antwan and call with a small pocket pair all in.
Don't call off 80 big blinds with pocket 4s.
It's not going to work out most of the time. Unless you lucky as fuck like Big City.
Gotta run good.
Max Payne.
Respect.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace, y'all.